Hi guys and welcome back to, I think it's part 4 we're on now. I don't even remember. It's picking up basically where we left off last time when I had to leave you so rudely and quite so quickly. Real life called, I'm afraid, and it was something that I could not put off. So I am back with you a little bit sooner than anticipated, and we'll get right back to it. So we've had a trade caravan obviously join us. I don't even remember if we'd spoken to them, so we'll go and see what there is on offer. I believe we did trade with them actually, thinking about it, but we'll have a look. Yes, we did, because there was chocobos. Okay, so we have the advanced we got the advanced components off these guys. We haven't cooked any more grilled steak yet because they sell for like $11 each, or 11 silver. They have some interesting items, but all in all, there's nothing else that we can trade for right this second. So Rozoa is currently hauling some iron. She's going to rest. And we have a major break risk. Let's have a look at this. Right, it's Veritas. I believe hers is because of, yeah, she's stressed, so she needs to go have some rec time, which she's going to go do now. And we'll check the hours. It's 11 o'clock, so we'll add another hour of recreation for her until 1 AM, and then she can go and sleep a little bit longer. She still has from 1 till 11, so that's more sleep than she really needs, but I need to make sure they're in prime condition, the colonists, otherwise that's when things start to break down. So I do have the guest mod, which again I'm absolutely terrible with names of things. I should really write it down. The hospitality mod. We haven't got any guest beds currently, but I do intend on installing some later on once we've got everything sorted. So we'll just speed things up a little bit. Rozoa is cleaning up and just stacking things nicely. I believe we're also going to need another freezer unit because it's filling up rather quickly. So Veritas is eating, and then I believe she will go to bed, checking on her needs. Yeah, she is hungry. She is going to need to sleep soon. She is also going to relieve herself, which will give her a debuff, I would think. Now she's also in intense pain, so major food poisoning. I am going to put self-tend on just in case, because really she needs to be resting to get over that. The last thing we want is for her to die. So Veritas is now sleeping. In actual fact, in order to help her recover, I am going to just let her have today as a sleep day. She can get up for some recreation later, that's absolutely fine, but for now, she can sleep her way through. Rozoa also has food poisoning. Okay, so let's set her to sleeping today too. And Davil is fine. So we'll let him carry on doing what he needs to do. But because the girls are resting today, we'll assign him to mining just for today. Which it turns out he's got a passion for, so I might just keep that up there. So I'll get him to prioritise mining. Now I don't believe his skill's particularly high in this. No, it's 4, but that's better than nothing. So he can get mining on there. Now you'll see I keep clicking on the wildlife tab. I'm actually just checking to see if there's any housekeeper cats that have turned up, because it just helps with the cleaning. But obviously there's none as yet. As I was going off to get a wash. We have an item stash quest too, but although there's only 2 enemies, I don't want to risk anything, so we'll just get rid of that for the time being. Zora is cooking again, despite the fact that she has clearly given everybody food poisoning. Right, Rousseau is recovering from food poisoning, and so is Veritas. So I'll just change her restrictions. And we'll put them all back to 2 hours of rec in the morning, 2 at night before bed, and the rest will be for working. Determined to try and get the rest of this finished. Now we have both of them on mining. Should hopefully get things done a little bit quicker. Now it's clearly warming up outside, so I'm going to need to get that meat somewhere safe. So I was having a little walk. Right, Darvolda's now level 5 in mining. So Veritas is having a chat with her children while her daughter cooks. I really like this add-on that gives all the speech bubbles so you can see what they're talking about in sort of real time. It's kind of nice. Now we do need to look at lighting because they're complaining about darkness in here. It's a big room, so I'll let them off for that. Not yet, Veritas. You're not allowed to go to bed yet. I still want those 2 doing. So we should get this mining finished for tomorrow, well, morning, for the colonists. So she can now go off and do what she needs to do. I'm assuming she's going to go have a wash. Outdoors is still -2 degrees Celsius, so it's still cold enough to keep the meat cold, and they're not at risk of spoiling just yet. So we'll do the usual and fast forward through the sleeping, because again it is super boring. Rosaria's going to clean up. Before she starts cooking, obviously. Now we have 5 grilled steaks in, which is cool. Oh, she's now level 4 in cooking. That's promising. We're getting there. Darvel is now up and about. he's going to refuel the wall lamp. Veritas is getting something to eat. And she's going to relax for a little while, chatting away, and she's going to start mining. Now I'm going to set some more floor to be laid to minimise the risk of infestations, because it is, as I keep saying, Randy random, and he does, although he's been super kind just recently, I'm kind of thinking that he's going to hit me hard at some point with his random events. So I'll just put that down there. Darvel is quite happily training the animals, because then eventually they'll be able to haul, and if the colonists get injured they can bring them back. The temperature is now at 3 degrees, so I think I'm going to make another freezer. So for simple sake I'm just going to do build copy, and I'm just going to crank that down there for now. So we're also going to have to look, we've got 422 excess, so we should be okay for the time being. I'm going to set that down for Veritas. Now, I want to start building things with a granite wall now, as opposed to wooden, because obviously wood burns super easily, and I'd rather not have things set fire to when and if we get raided. So I'm going to set Veritas on to prioritise cutting stone. Rozoa is queued for grilling steak, I believe. Where is she at the minute? Okay, she's been hauling some mushrooms, that's fine. I'd also like to have some bubble lambs tamed for the milk, really. And also to help level the animal skill for Darvel for Veritas and Rozoa, so they too can form a bond with these spirit wolves, eventually, hopefully anyway. So bubble lambs also provide, I think it's milk they provide, and I'm gonna tame, we'll have 1 male and 2 female, because that way sustainably they can breed. Veritas is now quite happily hammering away at there. Now granite is supposed to be the strongest blocks, I believe, so I'm going to set that as priority, and I'm going to set priority for building better walls, but granite walls, and sort of build those round like so, and we'll just get this area walled off. Now the freezer area, I think we're just going to have, let's see, if we have 4 width, it's going to take up quite an area. So if we do 3 width, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that should be sufficient for the freezer. So all being well, these little walls that I'm going to build will actually reduce the chance of a cave-in. So we can set them to mine once those are built. Darvel is still quite happily bawling his little heart out and training the wolves, which is fine. I'm going to set the quad refrigerator to allow all again, just until we get the rest of the things up. We also need to look at adding a few more sandstone deadfall traps, or even granite blocks would be good. So hopefully Darbull will crack on and get a couple of these walls built before he goes to bed. In theory, anyway. Veritas has yet again prioritised all of her work, so I'm going to give her 12 o'clock. Actually, I'm just going to cancel once she's dropped this off her prioritised work, and she can go do what she needs to do. So she's going to stop and have something to eat. Clean up a bit before she goes to bed. So again, we'll fast forward. So there is progress on the kitchen diner area. It needs to be quite a good size for the freezer section. So I believe 162 granite blocks should be enough. So I'm going to take most of Veritas's priorities off so she can begin work on researching, because you can't actually directly assign research because it's a long-term task. So I'm going to go to the work section. In actual fact, yeah, I am just going to take everything off Veritas for now, apart from... Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to go to manual priorities and I'm going to put research as number 1 for her. Apparently, Rozoa also likes cooking and tailoring. Set some of these priorities up properly. Veritas has already started with her research. She is, by the looks of it, a little bit cold. It's dark in there and she's deprived of recreation. But now she's back onto her normal schedule, she should be able to go and take part in a little bit of recreation afterwards. Now we have a chess table, a poker table, billiards, a gramophone, a radio, an archery target for fun, a shooting target that will actually level your shooting skill, and a martial arts target which will level your melee skill. But I don't actually have any cloth yet, so we're not going to be looking at those just yet. It's the end of another day. We haven't really made much progress on the kitchen diner, but we have got a little tiny bit of research done. We have plenty of food, so we don't need to worry about that. We still have 121 wood, so we're all good there. So I am going to set some more mining tasks. And what we're going to do, we're just going to get rid of this chunk here. So I'm going to set up also a hand tailor bench for now. No, I'm going to do an electric tailor bench. I'm going to do a steel one, and Rozoa, instead of cooking, can also work with a mum in there. I'm also going to put another heater in. Oh, and we have some cargo pods that have dropped in. Again, we're going to ignore the bandit camp quest and we're going to ignore the item stash quest for now. But let's have a look what we've got from the cargo. Oh, we have some flour. Okay. Ooh, and a dead Megalania. We'll allow that. In actual fact, I haven't done a check for dead animals, so we'll just do a quick roundup automatically because some of the newer animals aren't automatically hauled back to base. Now, I'll do this for two reasons. Oh, that one's rotting, which is a shame. I do this for two reasons because one, we need the furs and the leathers for making clothes. And two, free meat is free meat, which you can cook up and make a bit of a profit with those grilled steaks as we saw earlier. So I'm going to get Davul to head back home because it's 5 o'clock and he's not really done a huge amount apart from try and tame a lamb, which I don't want him to be doing right now. So he can finish building this. And I'm also going to get him to build a clothing rack because you can store all the clothes that are made in there. So we'll just pop that there for now. So we'll send him to do that. Now I'm just going to pause this and we're going to go over and set him to haul that corpse. And we'll get Rosario to haul some of the flour back too. And that can be done ready to haul whenever they're ready. Interesting. It's time for the 198th annual Solano Nonus Exposition and your faction has been invited. This year's host is Concord of Pabudbium. And the theme is the royal game of send your best gamer. Interesting. So let's see where this is being held. See if it's not too far away. We could make some interesting friends. Now that's quite a way away actually. I think this is this is our colony here. Characterised by a little vixen, which is awesome because we're Liani. These are the other item stash quests, an outpost that needs to be destroyed, some more outposts. It's actually quite close, so I should really. 12 days left this time. So let's see how long this journey would take. We'll go from here down to there. It would take 5.7 days. So we're looking at about, let's say 12 days there and back, which I don't particularly want to waste doing this. So we shall take a look. We'll ignore that for now and we'll just carry on with the colony building because it is important. Now I am half tempted to butcher this. Oh, we do. Okay. So Rosario is busy cooking. Did she hold the flour? I'm sure. Almost positive I sent her to pick that up. Yep, it's been picked up. So let's see what she can make. Because as I showed you earlier, they have some different recipes. Now Now there should be a recipe somewhere for some bread. Or they can make tacos. They can make tea. They can make stew. Okay, let's take a look at these tacos. What do we need? We need cooking 7. Okay, so what about cheeseburgers? We can do cheeseburgers, okay. So we need bread, meat and cheese, of which I don't have any bread. I believe there is another workstation for that. There's a lot of cookery stations that all have different recipes in this. Now this one is the electric stove. We also have this oven. It's a shame they don't show you which recipes they have. I'm going to build them all, obviously. Now, was that one from Rimworld? It wasn't. Okay. It wasn't from Rimkia. Okay, let's try the food prep table. Let's try this one. I can move them all around again anyway once they've finished building. But for now, it would be quite handy to have everything. We'll make an iron oven. Okay, so this way we have 3 of the different types of ovens needed. Darvel is going to eat. Veritas is still busy researching. Really, I want Darvel to be working on these food prep tables. Interesting, we've had a wanderer join. So, it's a relationship. A colonist named Tin has arrived and is joining the colony. He is a tailor sharpshooter. He is willing to contribute but will not leave voluntarily. If you don't want Tin, you can banish him, sell him into slavery or simply kill him. However, your other colonists may find this disturbing. Tin has a relationship with a colonist. He is Veritas' brother. Okay, so that's cool. So Darvel and Rozoa now have their Uncle Tin living with them, and it's an extra mouth to feed, but it is also an extra pair of hands to help out around the house. Now we can see his shooting and his melee isn't great, but that's fine. He's also has mysterious energy, he's gay, and he's a hard worker. He has good skill with animals, he's got good crafting skills. Medical he's a little bit happy about, he's interested in that. So we can put him to do that. Socially, he really enjoys being social and he really enjoys intellectual pursuit. So we could also assign him to research. And let's see what Veritas is at. She's also at 5. Okay, that's cool. So we can assign him to crafting as well. Let's see what they put him down as already. Right, he's down for tailoring and smithing. I'm going to put him down for negotiating, because although his skill isn't great now, he can actually improve on it. Again, for wardening, anything that they've got an interest in doing, I would like for them to do, purely because they perform better at it and they perform things quicker if they enjoy it. So managing, let's put that at 3 for all of them because it's not super important. I'm also going to put researching at 1 because if Veritas is busy with other things, which I can actually now assign her for, now we have an extra member, I'm going to take studying and teaching off because that's not important right now. We're not doing a playthrough where we need to study and teach things. So we can put Darvel, we can put him on art as a 2, even though he's not that great at it, it's still an option. We're also going to put Tin at a 2 for these, so it'll either be him or Rozoa that deals with those. Now really, everybody can help with growing. if they're able. I think they should be able to, because food is super important. Plant cutting, again, they really need to be skilled to do that, otherwise they botch the harvest. So Rozoa can have plant cutting as a 2. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to put that as a 1, because it is important to get the harvest in before the blight hits it. So we'll look at his restrictions. We're going to set him as the same as everybody else. We're also going to need to build him a bed, obviously. And we're also going to set his things to attack, because that irritates me when they run away from things that are attacking them, especially if it's a rabbit or a squirrel or something like that. So welcome to the colony, Tim. So he's on his way over. Okay, food prep table is up. Let's see. Okay, so it's not this one. We can make cheese. You turn milk into cheese. That's really cool. We can make tofu, polenta, grind grains into flour, make cornmeal. Ha! I can make soybean milk. Interesting. I suppose if you're doing a vegan playthrough, that could be quite interesting. You can pickle your veg to make them last longer, and you can salt meats. Okay, so it's not that table, but that's a cool addition. So we'll keep that. Now I'm going to set Darvel to mining, because this isn't going as quickly as it should be, and it's starting to annoy me. And who else is capable of constructing? Okay, so let's get Rozoa. She's busy cooking. Let's get her to build her own oven, and we'll see what this one does. We also need some power lines, so we're going to have to install those. Let's get those installed. Now the steel is running rather low, so what I'm going to do, I'm also going to add an order to mine this little bit out here before they actually build the wall. But we'll have an access tunnel there just for ease. So I think I'm actually going to get him to prioritise the steel first, just so we don't run out of that. We'll put the heal root to harvest, because we don't have any medicine at the minute, which is characterised by low medicine. Oh, we also need to build a bed, okay. So let's go for the old style furniture, and we'll give him a different bed, just to be different. Okay, I don't have enough wood to make an ironwood bed, although I'm interested to see what that looks like. So we are just going to go for a bog standard wooden bed, and I'm going to pop that there. So we'll add that to Rozoa's list to make. And we're going to assign that to tin. So they now all have a bed. Darvel is currently mining his steel out. You can see that there's some more there. There's probably one there too. Building. Let's take a look at what we can make. Here we are. The breads, the sweet rolls, pizzas, cookies, pies. Awesome. So 6 flour and 10 meat. That's an awful lot. but what about bread? 4 flour for bread. Okay, so let's add some bread. Sod it. You know, let's add them all. They'll cook them as and when they can. So we're going to do these. I'm going to set them to, say it says bake 3, I'm going to make 30, so it's 10 instances of cooking. Now allowed cooking skill. Okay, I'm just going to set that at 0 because we don't have any terrible cooks now that they've leveled up. We're also going to set this one, bake 6 cookies. We're going to do until you have 60. Again, it's just setting things up. Make 3 pies, we're going to do until we have 30. 2 meat pies, we're going to do until you have 40 for that one. I have a feeling they'll be worth a nice amount of money if we're trading. 4 sweet rolls, we'll do until we have 40. Bake 3 pizzas, do until we have 30. Until we have 20 cornbread, and obviously do until we have 60 muffins. Now once I figure out how much things are worth trading, we'll probably also open up, once we have our little hotel area that guests can stay with, a little shopping area, we'll probably have a little bakery as well that will sell baked goods, but we'll meet that when it comes to it. So that's all set up nicely. Still haven't got any chairs yet, but that's okay, so we'll carry on with the playthrough. Now Veritas is talking to her daughter. Tin is happily researching while Veritas takes a break. Now I do want Rozoa to... she's going to have to work on these power conduits, otherwise they can't actually cook anything. So she can go ahead and haul the steel that she needs. She's going to clean up a little bit first, good lass. Veritas is still relaxing socially. Let's see what her needs are like. She's not too bad, so you know, I'm going to get her to mine a little bit also. Let's speed this up a little bit. Did forget to allow all on here though. Darvel is almost done with this little bit and then he can head to bed. Yes, it's late, but unfortunately things need to be done. Rozoa is relaxing socially. Tina's gone straight into researching. Veritas and Darvel are still sleeping. And Rozoa is cooking again. Veritas is going to go have a go at taming a bubble lamb, which is awesome. So for now I'm going to pause it. Oh, Darvel has tamed a bubble lamp. So we're going to get her to prioritise these steel power lines so we can get a bit more variety on the food. Level 6 in cooking, excellent. I don't really want Tin to be doing this, so no, it's not assigned to mining. Okay. I'll get him to haul instead. Okay, we have another rainy thunderstorm. So to minimise the chance of us getting hit by lightning that like happened last time and nearly happened to Veritas, I am just going to restrict them all to the home area. Don't want them going too far. And Tin is still being a pain in the butt, so I'm going to get him to hold the steel. Quite a lot of steel, so I am going to take advantage of this at the minute. So I'm also going to try and make use of Tin, so I'm going to set him so that he can mine. He hasn't got any mining skills, so that's absolutely fine. Just means we're making a start on this. Interesting. Okay, we don't have enough power for that. So, let's for the time being add a little wind generator, just for the time being. We can always dismantle it later if we don't need it. So we'll just pop this here. Can't grow anything at the minute anyway because it's too cold. We'll get Veritas to prioritise working on the wind turbine. Obviously we're going to need some more power lines to connect. She can do those too. Okay, and now the table should be up and running, the electric oven. just let these guys finish off their mining. Tin is super slow at this. That's because he's only level 1 in mining, whereas Davul is now up at level 6, and he really enjoys it. Now it's 4 AM in the morning and they're still up mining. Davul's obviously finished and he's going to have a wash and he's going to head to bed. So I will change the timings for these guys just so they don't get cranky with me. So we have Tin, who is now going to sleep until 11 with a little bit of rec, and we're also going to do that for Davul too. Now we have our first loaf of bread. Well, we had our first loaf of bread as Doll has decided that she's going to eat it all. Very inconsiderate of her, of course. Any more dead animals around and about? Don't think so by the looks of it. So what have we managed to tame? Ah, Feralist Clutch Mother. Interesting. So we have a huge spider-like creature called a Feralisk, and it seems to be of a much bigger size than usual and is carrying a clutch of eggs on its back. This sounds like a recipe for disaster, if not... Ah, okay. So we're going to restrict the bubble lamb to home because they're obviously quite defenceless. However, I do believe that the spirit wolves could probably deal with this quite effectively. Now we're still waiting on 2 females to be tamed, but that can wait a little bit longer. The Feralisk is all the way over there, so it's not too bad right now. Tin has gone into a bit of a daze. His sister was unable to calm him down, so he's just going to wander about aimlessly for a little while. Now I'm going to chop these 2 trees down. Just clean those up a little bit because it's looking messy. I'm also just going to add those 2 walls in to be built, just to add a little bit more stability. Oh, Veritas is now level 6 in intellectual. So we're inching ever closer to getting the freezer area finished. You know what? I may turn eventually this little side bit here into the kitchen, but the freezer area is the most important right now. So everybody's happy, they're all in bed. The bubble land's sleeping in the warmest part of the base. Tin is still in a daze. My goodness, can sulk for days. So let's see what's going on with this Feralisk. So Tin has collapsed, he's exhausted. I don't think we're in any danger from the Feralisk just yet. He's wandering about, killing things and eating them. hopefully the ancient spirit wolf will take care of that for us at some point. Let's get them to carry on with their own little thing and try and get this finished. Yay, advanced cooling is finished. So we're going to hit the research screen and we're going to put, I think we'll put batteries in, seeing as how we've got a windmill. So, not a windmill, wind turbine. So we'll hit that for our next level of research to do. I'm also going to ask Starbull to carry on with mining, because I want this little area finished before I finish the stream for tonight. Well, not the stream, the video. Rosaura is again cooking. Also going to add one of these gorgeous little antique doors. Now woken up, obviously feeling a lot better in himself, so I'm going to get him to head out and first of all, they haven't been hauling, of course, okay, so let's change the areas that they're allowed to go, because I did restrict them all to the home zone, so now let's put them unrestricted, and we will get Tin to come and haul the wood. Followed by hauling the berries and some more wood. It just means we can crack on with building a few more things. Obviously refueling the generator when we need to. So let's just get rid of this one. Davil can finish that. In theory, another day and they should have this room finished. It's from the bubble lamb, of course. For whatever reason, bubble lambs actually produce milk. Now we have Billy Goat there. Okay, and we have a donkey. Interesting. Now, I'm not quite sure what the HP is of this Feralisk. Let's see if we can find out. It doesn't actually tell you the health points. But I do want those eggs. Now Tin doesn't have any weapons, I believe, by the look of him. So we're going to equip him with the Pila. I'm very tempted to take everybody and get them to go down and attack the spider. However, I'm not sure that would be a wise idea. However, I could take the animals down and send the animals to attack first. But I think instead we'll just wait and see what happens. So we don't want the wolf to be walled in. So let's see if we can just get them to finish mining this area before they actually wall the wolf in, because that would be terrible. Okay, well Tin has almost walled Darvel in, which would not be a good idea at all. I have a fear we're nearly out of that area, so it's not too much of an issue. I'm actually unsure where that giant spider has gone. I don't like it when things disappear. It makes me nervous. Short-faced bear, they're actually kind of cute. Okay, it could be that it's just wandered off the map. I can't see it anywhere here. It may turn up at a later date and surprise me, but we shall have to wait and see. For now, everything is okay. Oh wow. Okay, I'm not sure where all of these fission mice came from. That's absolutely insane. Okay, lots of free food there then. Not a problem. Why are all the animals running here? It's absolutely crazy. Why would they do that? Oh, because it's minus 14 degrees. Okay, and they're looking for shelter. Right, so what I'm going to do is try and get Renoa to prioritise rearming that. Oh no, Boomerlopes, go away! Oh, and the Black Hive is attacking. Oh, that's not great. Let's see. A Black Hive mound? What on earth is that? This could be interesting. I've never had a raid by the Black Hive. Maybe that's why everybody was running up this way. Ooh, a black spider. Okay. Interesting. I believe we're gonna have to get these guys come here. Sorry guys, gonna have to wake you up. Oh, mean. Attacking my wolf. I'm not quite sure why it's running off. It should attack, surely. You would think it would. So let's go out. Let's go to its rescue. Because that's just a little bit crazy. Now everybody apart from Tin has a ranged weapon, so I'm going to stand Tin over here. Tin can go and attack these megalouses. drop the bow. Okay, it was Veritas, so we'll get her to equip the Skyfire bird. Put that as a sidearm. You can finish that one to death. See what's going on here. They're not doing a huge amount of damage. But obviously this is a threat that needs dealing with. We'll allow that. And Tin can go off and finish that one. So let's see. That was the hive. The hive is there. So we need to go and get rid of that, I believe. Assuming that's where they all spawn from. So let's get rid of that. That was interesting. I've not actually been attacked by the black hive before. And they leave you black hive insect jelly. Nice. So we'll allow that for gathering. We'll unassign these guys. And they can all head off back to bed and do whatever it is that they need to do. Now, just because of that disturbed sleep, we're going to change their stuff around again. They can have the rec from 9 till 10 today. They can work the rest of the time. And they can sleep for this. Like I said, really don't want any more mental breakdowns. It's never good. Now, I'm not too happy about all of these boomalopes, but all being well, they'll disappear when they're good and ready. Obviously it's cold outside, so I don't need to worry about things spoiling. I am, however, pleased that I started to build things out of granite. Also, I guess I should look at it as it's free food for the animals. I'm going to check the health conditions. Oh, Davil has the flu. Okay, so we're going to keep Davil in bed because I don't really want him to die right now. And trust me, it could happen. So he's just going to stay in bed all day. The rest of them, Tin's also not well, but it's minor, so he can still ponder about. That's fine. No, he's going to go to bed too. So we have the two girls up and about, which is absolutely fine. Veritas is busy researching, whereas I was cooking a little heart out. I'm going to get her just to finish this off though. She was supposed it up, and there goes one of the boomalopes. They're all disappearing off now. The weather's got much better. As you can tell, I refuse to go to bed. Let the colonists go to bed again without having that room near finished. So at least we've got the wall done this time. That's fine, that's the start. We have a lot of lovely dead animals that we can hang shortly. Now I'm going to set the rest of this to mine. Also want to finish putting the floors down in here. So they've finished researching the battery. So we'll just pause it and we're going to start looking at the next one. We're going to do biofuel refining. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, we've run out of power because the ones who deal with that are actually ill in bed. So if I'm going to assign everybody as firekeeper, there's absolutely no reason why they can't be. So we'll just chop some more trees too. So I'm just going to add these to hold back. And then she can refuel the generator. And she can also finish building these floors. So Rosawa is eaten, and to be fair, she can probably finish off building that. And she can finish doing the flooring. Okay, so that's that room finished off for now. We just need to move some furniture about, but we're not going to do that yet because I want to finish the freezer. Now Tin is still researching. And how's he doing? Let's see. It's Flu's still minor, and Darvel is still poorly. They both are, and despite me telling them both to stay in bed, he's decided he's not going to. He's going to do some researching. If that's what he wants to do, I suppose that's his choice. He is going to head to bed now. No, he's still researching. He should be in bed. He's obviously feeling better. Now I'm going to set Rosawa to working on these walls. I'm also going to get Veritas to start mining. obvious reasons. The sooner the freezer's built, the sooner we can store all of these dead animals, and the sooner we can move on to the next project. Quite a way away. Rearm that last one and they go back inside. So we have a little bit of defence before the Nightling decides to head our way. Tin has gone back to bed, which is good. Still has minor flu, but he's up and about, so he's on the road to recovery, I would say. So before he goes back to sleep, we'll just get him to replace the faulty components in the refrigerator. Roseanne can now head to bed. Actually, do you know what? I think Veritas had better head to bed too, otherwise she's going to be cross tomorrow. Okay, so the Triceratops was injured on our traps. Apparently it's going to die in 22 hours, so we'll keep an eye on that one, just in case. Now, the temperature is 22 degrees minus outside, so stuff is still fresh, which is good. And now we have a low psychic drone on the females, so the females are going to be feeling a little bit cranky today. So we'll get Veritas to finish off with the construction. When she feels like it, of course. She's going to do a little bit of research first, but since our Davil is up and about, we'll get him to move the steel. Okay, so we have the freezer area ready. So let's start with the temperature. We want the advanced cooler putting in there, so we'll just pop that there. We also need to look at the batteries. So I'm going to put one. I'm going to put one in the freezer area just because that's the place where we have the most space at the minute. Davil really should be doing that. Okay, oh now, after wanting to kill us, the Nightling has self-tamed. Interesting. Do we have any other Nightlings? Ah, we do. Don't particularly want another animal just yet, so we'll get rid of her. Which I feel a little bit guilty about because they look kind of cool. Davil is up and about. So we'll get him to do both of those construction jobs. Oh, we have some Frillious Egresses in. These are a lot like Thrombos. They have, instead of the horn being valuable, their tail is super valuable. But they're also about as strong as the Thrombos, so I'm going to leave those alone for now. There's a dead donkey there, we can gather that. I'm not actually sure where a lot of the animals have gone. Maybe it's because the map's so cold that they've all disappeared. We've had some cargo pods dropped too. There's some more tea, but this time it's Psychite tea, so we're going to grab that. I'm also going to check the drugs policy. We're going to do no drugs. For that note, do you know what? Let's have them on social drugs, why not? Because that allows for caffeine and various other non-harmful drugs, I suppose. So we have the battery up and running. And I haven't attached it to any power lines because I'm not that smart. So we'll just run that power line across there. And we'll get Davil to head over and focus on building this for us. Now floor-wise, I think I am going to go for a basic wood floor in here, only because later on we can upgrade to sterile if we so choose, but for now this will do the job nicely. So they can focus on doing that in the next day. We also have a mad horse mare. Interesting. So Timberwolf Revenge, obviously it was killed by my wolves, so we'll make sure that that body's allowed to be hauled up for more meat and more fur. Mad horse mare is half injured. By the time they wake up, oh no, Davil is awake. He's attacking it. And he's successfully down the horse. So we'll just get him to finish that off. And he's also developed immunity to the flu, which is a bonus. What was he carrying that's too heavy? Let's take a look. Oh wow, okay. So we'll get him to refuel the generator with the wood he's got on him. So, good old Randy Random has sent me a electric fault. So, we will see if somebody's available. I think Darvol is going to go and tackle this fire for us. Yep, all sorted. And Darvol is going to rearm the targets there. Tin's researching. So I believe, seeing as how they have now developed immunity, we can put them back on the normal work schedule. We'll get Darvol to start laying the floor in the freezer area. No, he won't because he's sleeping. We'll get Mama Veritas to do it then. So the biofuel refining research is complete, so let's just pause this and take a look. You know, I'd actually quite like to have some rugs down, I think. So, no, actually I'm going to go for the sterile materials, because that's super important to start with. So let's get Veritas finishing off these floors. I know she's researching. Maybe Darvol will come in and take over. And he has. What a good boy. So we should also send Rozoa to cut some more trees down, because we're running low on wood again. So we'll send her after these. Right, so that should be enough trees for Rozoa to get on with cutting down. Darvol is making the floor. Tin is repairing. Okay, I didn't actually activate the automatic rebuilding, so I'm just going to click that on. Veritas is still researching, so that should do for now. See how Darvel gets on with these. Okay, he's finished building the battery. I'm not sure what he's doing next. Excellent, he's put some more things down. Okay, we're nearly done with the flooring in there, so let's get him, he's collecting that one. Let's see about getting him to collect the rest of the wood that his sister is so kindly chopping down for us. So I'm going to set Darvel to finish crafting, because there should be enough in theory, to finish crafting these floors. And there is. We're getting there. So he's left one square, how rude. And we'll get Rizzo to finish that one off, because I'm not leaving just one undone. And they're all going to be in bed for before 1 AM this time. So we're getting there. My usual check. No, we have no housekeeper cat. Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's like a gorilla, I guess. Okay, I was curious. I thought I'd go see. Okay, so we'll just, it's already on full speed, so we'll just let it run. We'll have a quick scout around the map. Still some dead bodies to haul, and now a boatload of wood. Before Vera just does anything, we're going to get her to build. Oh, I can't. Construction skill is too low. Interesting. So we're going to get Darvel to finish building the heating. I wonder what level we need for this. Let's take a look. We need construction skill of 8 to build it. I just never thought of checking it. And Darvel has 70. Oh, he's not that far off. He might actually get this finished. Let's have a look. Not quite. Okay. So how many bricks do we have? We have 261 granite blocks, so maybe 7, 14, 21. Let's build 3 more granite deadfall traps. Let's see if that helps. And we'll send Darvel to build these. I actually don't want anybody else to level their skills just yet, so let's take everybody else off constructing. Just for now anyway. And Rosetta, rather than cooking today, she can be busy with cutting stone block. There we go, Darvel has reached level 8 in construction, so he is now able to build the cooler, so we'll add that as his next task. There we go. And it's successful. Now we just need to set the temperature. Don't want it at 21 degrees Celsius, so we're going to set it for -9 should be enough. We'll see if 1 is enough or if we need another one. Sometimes the size of the room massively impacts on how many you need to keep things cool. So let's take a look at the other furniture we have available. Now we're going to put a couple of meat hooks in, and what these do, they store the dead animal bodies until you're ready to use them. Now I'm going to use the iron meat hooks because in the Lord of the Rings mod they rebalance things so that iron actually is the most viable early game metal to use, I believe, instead of steel. From what I was reading anyway, I could be wrong, so don't quote me. So I'm going to put some iron meat hooks up, and I think if we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's have 6 up there. 6 meat hooks should suffice for now. And we're also going to want to add some food baskets, and we'll also make those out of iron. And you can store things like grain and vegetables and eggs and such in here. But first of all, I am going to add the freezers in. So we're going to reinstall actually, let's see. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3 there. I can't cope with that. Okay, let's take those out. And we're going to have, when it lets me select it, we're going to have this one put in here and 4 meat hooks. That should be enough. We've got that started, and now we'll put the iron food baskets in. I'm just going to put some, I think we'll do it down here for now. We'll have 4 in, that should be enough. So we'll wait for those to be built. The temperature in here is -13, so that's all good. But it's also -21 outside, so we can't guarantee that it's actually going to stay as cold, but we'll see. So we shall wait for everybody to finish doing their thing. Another day begins. Darvel is relaxing socially. Veritas has gone straight on with researching. Veritas is now level 8 intellectual. Excellent. So I think what we'll do, once the freezer is up and running, we'll start looking at the area to do the kitchen. I think that'll be the next thing we work on. So while they're all pottering about and doing their things, let's plan it out, shall we? So we'll plan a kitchen. I don't want to take the whole length in case we need to expand the freezer at a later date. So let's do from, say, here, because I don't want to have 4 length freezer, it looks kind of odd. So if we need to expand, it'll be in 3s, I believe. So let's see, most of these tables take up, the biggest one takes up 3. So if we allow for 2 tables plus a space plus a wall, and then bring it down, it's going to be quite a lot, not too large, but large enough, you know. We want to give them the feeling of grandeur by having a big area to work in, because that always helps with the mood and the speed that they work. So I think if we do it for these little tables are 2, so obviously I'll have a door here, so I have 2 spaces to walk in, so 1 at the side, or maybe even they could have a little sculpture in the corner here, some furniture. Let's do that, okay? That should be big enough for a kitchen. Bigger than the freezer. Yeah, let's stick with that. So we'll have a door there. In actual fact, what we'll do, we'll add a little area here. And we'll also plant one of these in here, and what that should do in theory is kind of keep it cool between rooms. I like to do things like that because I'm a little weird. So Darvel is now repairing the wood-fired generators. It's broken. It hasn't had too much of an impact though because we have a battery pack installed. Now let's take a look at some of the clothes, because we installed the tailor bench but we didn't really do anything with it. Now because obviously this map is permanent winter, let's look at some warm clothes that we can get started. There should be a fur coat somewhere on here. So I have a fur coat. Also the military fatigues, because they're always helpful. We'll put some thermal pants in. A fur hat. I'm not too concerned about specific roles just yet, not until we've got the rest of the place up and running. Let's put a construction jacket on there too. And we'll put a couple of elf dolls to make because they're always good to sell. Now I'm going to do that until we have, I'm going to do 5 of those. But I'm also going to set the skill to 9 to make those, just so it's a fairly decent quality. The fur coat and such, I'm just going to do the standard do until you have X, but I'm also going to allow 4. Instead of 2 there'll be 4, so there's 1 for everyone plus spares. See if there's anything else I want to make just yet. Okay, a parker's always useful. So we'll do until we have 4 of those. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 2. I don't want to get too much stashed up just yet. We can always increase it at a later date. Pants, because they wear out quite quickly. Not everybody wants to wear thermal pants, put it that way. So I have 2 of those. And we'll put a couple of t-shirts in too, just for good measure. So that's ready for whenever the next person wants to start, when she's finished with the cooking, etc. Darvel is busy working on those traps, which is great. Now we're going to do the usual auto rearm for these, so it automatically sets a task for when they're triggered to go and set them back to what they should be. Interesting, there's a wild boar corpse that she's dealt with. There's not too many animals lying about, or actually on the map at the minute. Obviously the temperature's rather cold, so they are going to be in short supply. I don't believe we managed to get all of the bubble lambs that I wanted to, so we'll probably have to trade for animals at a later date. No, we only have one bubble lamb, and it's a male, so we need some female bubble lambs, which is fine. I also need to start looking at hydroponics for the next video, because if it's permanent winter, obviously it's not ideal. Now there's an item stash quest. Again, I'm not going to bother with that too much right now. We just want to focus on getting this freezer sorted. Let's face it, it's been long enough. So we now have these up, and we're not going to allow rotten things because that would just be silly. We're not going to allow foods, but we are going to allow plant matter and raw resources. We are going to allow medicine and drugs until we have the medical bay up and running. Now I don't want the meals stored in this, I want those stored in the freezers. So we'll have raw food, yes. I will also have kibble, but I don't... Yeah, well, do you know what? We'll just have allow all on this. It just makes life easy at this point. So we'll allow all, but not rotten. Okay. Sorry, that took a little while for me to think about what I wanted to do there. Now, because this isn't a cannibal colony, I'm not going to allow human-like corpses. Whereas at one point... Ah, a Blizzardous Clutch Mother. Let's take a look at this. Interesting. These look quite nasty. Oh, I didn't even read that. Okay, let's just go to history. Messages. Show messages. There. A huge spider-like creature called a blizzarisk adapted to cold climates wanders through this territory. This blizzarisk seems to be of much bigger size than usual and is carrying a clutch of eggs on its back. Now this sounds like the feralisk that came previously. So I'm just going to let it do its thing for now. And I'll worry about it if it comes too close. I mean, worst case scenario, I can just build a ton more traps and we can attack it that way. So for now, I'm going to focus on building, like I said, but I am also going to add a pallet for storing the... I don't want pallets with wrapping, so I don't have any cloth yet. So we're going to go for an iron pallet, and we'll just put 2 of those down. Just to neaten up the storage space. As you can see, all the clothes we had, the 2 that we took off that dead body, are currently stored in the clothing rack. Now, I would like Veritas to hurry up working on this. Taking a little bit too long for my liking. And I'm also going to get them to haul all the foods just so they don't rot, because knowing my luck, that will happen rather quickly. So let's just prioritise hauling these. That should help. How rude. She went to bed instead of hauling. That's not what I asked her to do at all. So we'll fast forward through this bit, as usual. I may cut things out, because this has been quite a long video. So the kitchen is a nice, well, the freezer is a nice chilly -24 to keep all the food preserved nicely. Darvel is cleaning, although I'm not quite sure why. I want them to haul those into the freezer. Ah, that stupid bubble lamb's gone to eat. Who knew bubble lambs were carnivorous? So she can finish hauling that. Now, let's look at reinstalling these just a little bit further back to neaten it up. Also need another chair because we have a 4th colonist here. So let's build a couple more just in case we have any visitors. Which is also going to mean that we need to have these hauled. So we'll set that as a task for all of our lovely colonists, and they can take as many as they can carry. Would obviously prefer to get as much of this back there as possible, just for ease. Okay, so we've finished the sterile materials research, so let's just pause this and take a look at the next step. I think, to be honest, we're going to go for hydroponics because I'm not sure if there is actually any warmer weather on this map, or whether we were just immensely lucky at the start. Oh, we have some Brontosaurus. Oh, don't they look cute? Okay, so we have tin crafting clothes, we have Veritas researching. Oh, there's a prisoner rescue quest. Interesting. For me, that's not really worth going for. 2 turrets, a mortar and 2 enemies. I don't have the armour to even attempt that, so I'm just going to ignore that for now. Rizzo is starving. Now sometimes with this hauling mod that I have, it's to do with making them smarter. They sometimes pick so much up and then they can't actually drop things because they're carrying too much. So if you drop one thing, generally that allows them to go and do what they were wanting to do in the first place. She still seems to be struggling, so let's drop that there. Okay, and she still has 18 pigskin. I'm not quite sure where she's gone now. She's heading back now. Okay, so we'll drop the pigskin. Make sure nobody else is carrying a stupid amount of things, which of course they are. Why would they not be? Okay, that's that. today we have managed to get the freezer built finally. It's taken us long enough between one thing or another. So thank you again for spending time watching me. We've planned out the area that we're going to tackle next for the kitchen. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thank you again.